Hello and welcome back to the Drake and Josh podcast. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Trevor.
And today we watched Alien Invasion.
Yeah.
And we started drinking.
We started drinking.
We were technically drinking before, but we didn't have glasses we could actually clink.
We had plastic cups with Coke and rum.
Now we're back to the high lifes that are left over from our last batch recording with Kirk, because I don't really drink at home unless friends are over. So we watched Alien Invasion. It was very good.
It was a solid. It was not as good as the last episode.
See,
still.
now I wish I rated the last one higher, because we'll talk about the episode before we get into ratings.
I kept giving you eyes last time. Maybe bump it up a little bit, but it happens.
But no, it was good. I don't think it was as funny as the last one. No. But it was still an enjoyable episode.
Absolutely.
It wasn't like an early season.
We'll discuss this
or anything,
at the end.
You know?
Yeah.
So it start. Oh,
our
cold. My notes.
You forgot your notes. Oh, I'm professional. So we started on the cold open where Drake and Josh were talking about Josh annoys me, Drake annoys me a little bit, but nothing bothers me as much as Megan.
Yeah, and they start listing off things that Megan has done. She said Drake said that Megan enlisted him in the Mexican army.
She dyed Josh's underwear pink.
She put kitty litter in Josh's shoes. And she gave hobos Drake's number.
She gave his number to 3 hobos, I think is what she said.
It was a really funny opening sequence.
They're just talking about it, and then Drake gets a call from the hobos like, "Can I stay at your house?"
He's like, "No, you hobo.
Leave me alone."
Just the Mexican army thing is just so funny.
Army is amazing.
What the fuck? She enlisted him in the Mexican army.
He can never go to Mexico now, because I think if he shows up...
No, he'll be a draft dodger.
Yeah.
Or not a draft. An enlistment dodger? Is that a thing? Because if you enlist...
What's it called? AWOL.
Oh, yeah, AWOL, yeah.
He's AWOL, technically, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a crime. She made him commit a crime.
Well, who knows if it's a crime in Mexico? I've never been.
Yeah.
Well, I have been.
I'm gonna say it probably has.
But then this pretty much just goes right into the episode, and Josh is upstairs in their bedroom doing his homework, and Drake goes in the room and starts playing music really loud
on the stereo. Yeah.
And Josh is like, "Yo,
please stop!
Chill out with the music." Homework. Yeah. And so Drake is like, "Yeah, man, for sure." And he grabs it off. He grabs his fucking guitar, no amp.
No. Not
still loud
at all.
Still loud like an electrical guitar.
Very loud.
And he starts playing like blues basically, and what Josh calls an improvisational blues, because he's just like coming up with lyrics about how Josh is mad at him.
Oh, grumpy Josh, doing his homework, something like that.
Yeah, and then talks about how he broke his pencil, and then he's calling the pencil repairman.
It's fantastic.
Whoa, cranky Josh. It's pretty great. All the improvisational blues is amazing, because he keeps doing it, and then he does it in the end credit sequence
which
too,
is amazing.
But then how did they get into the alien stuff? Do you remember?
So
you ever
Megan takes Josh's computer.
Wait. I have a line before this though.
Oh.
I think it was before where they start talking about that stuff. So Josh. Drake says that he doesn't do homework or whatever, and Josh is like, "How?" And he's like, "Oh, I got a doctor's note." Yeah, so Josh starts reading Drake's doctor's note that Drake wrote himself, and it says that he has a twisted liver, and that he doesn't have to do his homework. He doesn't need to study
or bathe.
Yeah, or bathe is the last thing. And then it's just signed the doctor.
Josh is like, "Shouldn't the doctor have a name?" He's like, "Oh yeah, Bob the doctor."
And Josh is like, "Perfect,
that'll work."
And then they start going into the stuff you were talking about.
Yeah, so Josh starts looking for his laptop. He's like, "Hey, have you seen my laptop?" He's like, "Oh, I think Megan had it in the backyard." He's like, "I told her not to touch my things."
Yeah.
Or however, said some weird verb.
Yeah, so then he storms off and closes the door, and then Drake starts doing the blues thing again, and he goes, "Whoa, cranky Josh!"
Josh just opens the door looking at him.
Yeah, and then he just goes, he just plays a chord at him.
So they go downstairs, and Megan's out back in the backyard with Josh's laptop.
Yeah.
And her new telescope.
Yeah, a really badass looking telescope. Very wide and short instead of long and skinny. Is that the new way telescopes are?
A lot of telescopes are like
I always picture like a classic like telescope where it's like more of a spyglass.
Well, it's in more light with it being wider.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Why did they make them thinner before?
I think the distance between
Lack of glass.
The distance between the lenses.
Okay.
Could have been a fact. That's a spyglass, so I don't think that's really for like.
If any of you guys out there are science bitches, please let us know what type of telescope you prefer. Long and skinny or short and wide?
Short and wide is better for our, I assume, astronomy, and then long and skinny is for like, hey, look at that thing over there.
Yeah. Also, let us know whether you prefer gas or electric. For stoves.
Yeah, in your stove, cooktops.
Yeah.
Because no one has commented on it still.
Also, I've been watching House Hunters, and it's been coming up a lot. People, usually one of the people will be like, "I gotta have gas," and then the other person won't give a fuck. And like every single house they show them doesn't have gas, and they're like, "Is there at least a hookup or what's up?" And the realtor's like, "Yeah,
maybe."
Yeah, I don't know.
Gas is the best.
Also, I recommend you guys watching House Hunters. Great show.
Don't recommend other stuff.
Listen, people come to our podcast for recommendations.
That's
do
true.
They not?
They do. That's absolutely what you guys are.
So you guys can figure out which episode you want to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe
instead
not.
Instead of just watching the 27-minute long thing, listen to our hour-long.
Yeah, listen to our 50-minute long podcast. Well, it could be anywhere between like 16 minutes and over an hour, I think. Mm-hmm. We've done a podcast over an hour, haven't we?
Oh, for sure. At least one episode's over an hour, I think.
So there you go. That's our range. Well, no, maybe not. I want to say like 56 minutes is our longest. That's my guess. You guys go back and check.
I mean, we could check, I guess, right now.
Not going to check now. Not going to check. Definitely not going to check
now. That's
now.
unprofessional.
Let's get back on track.
Okay. So, yeah, Megan's outside looking at the stars, and it's like, well, give me my laptop back. And they're like, she's like, no, I don't want to bring mine out here. It's going to get wet.
Yeah.
And then she's using, so that one, that's, I guess, kind of okay.
No, it's not.
Not really.
Because you need to be able to take your risks if you're doing this hobby or whatever on your own equipment. Then not on somebody else's equipment.
Yes, but also then she straight up puts Drake's brand new leather jacket under the telescope. That's absolutely the worst. That's like, you're not even...
It's really funny, though.
You're not even trying to justify that.
Her reaction to that was great. She's just like, so?
Like, you could have used paper plates. Or anything under there.
I thought like a beach towel.
A towel. Exactly. There's a multitude of things.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
A brand new leather jacket. You're just trying to be a cunt now.
Well.
I don't care. I'm saying it.
It was funny regardless because it looked like it barely fit under because the tripod was very wide.
Absolutely had to stretch that thing. Like one leg just had an arm under it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So they get pissed and they're like, listen, we got to get back at this bitch.
Well, first, they're like, well, give us our stuff. And she's like, fine.
Oh, right.
Goes over, lays on the ground, and just screams.
Yeah, she crosses her legs, too, like she's, like, laying down a lounge.
Yeah. Walter comes running out. He's like, what happened? And she's like, Drake and Josh pushed me down.
And they're like, no, we didn't. And she's like, why would I be laying on the ground just screaming? And Walter just looks at him and gets the boys in trouble. He sends them upstairs. Megan continues to do her thing. So then once they're upstairs, they start to plot against her. They're trying to come up with different ways. Drake says they should freeze her and leave her in the future.
Wake her up 300 years from now. She'll be so freaked out. Josh writes it. He's like, oh, yeah, let me write that down. And he just scribbles. And he's like, you didn't write that down, did you? He's like, no.
And he launches the paper into the air. Classic, like, Josh freak out style.
Just that quick motions.
Yeah, it's great.
Physical comedy in this one was actually pretty good.
It's amazing. Oh, yeah, because there is a couple other physical comedy sequences with him. So then they're trying to figure out ways to freak her out, right?
Like,
and then,
what if she found something in her telescope that freaked her out?
Yeah. So then what?
The butt thing.
Oh, God. You wrote it down. I didn't write it down.
Yeah, and Drake's like, Dad's butt. And he's like, no, freakier.
Freakier?
Why?
So they end up getting one of Josh's DVDs, and he, like, photoshops one of the ships from the DVD onto her telescope screen.
Software.
I guess.
Into the software somehow.
He somehow codes it into the software.
Which is like... Okay.
I mean, he does it within seconds. He's very good with computers. So they basically ninja walk over to the computer and do this while she's inside helping Walter clean the dishes.
And Walter's like, don't you just love doing dishes? It's so fun.
Yeah, it's a really interesting shot too, because it's a shot from the perspective of behind the sink, like where the window's at, which usually you do not get that shot because it's usually like a 3-camera setup.
Yeah.
And then so they move the camera like way the fuck over, so it's a little bit bizarre to see. You know, it always feels jarring when it's a 3-camera setup show and they move the camera somewhere else. In my opinion.
No, I agree.
Like to a completely different perspective. Mm-hmm. You're like, what? Like in the movie when they showed where the cameras usually are, they showed the back wall.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking bizarre.
That was insane. Not a fan.
So they're cutting between them doing dishes and Walter talking about how much he loves it and Megan just fucking hating her life. And they cut between Drake and Josh still on the computer doing their little coding sequence. And then when they hear her coming back out,
they got it done.
Yeah, and they're getting the disc back into the case, and then they're trying to hide. Josh does this thing where he tries to hide behind the telescope at first.
He like goes down and like puts his arms down to the ground and his feet like he's trying to be behind the tripod,
which is bizarre. And then
Drake's trying to go behind a Adirondack chair.
Yeah, and then Drake thinks he's like trash cans, and so then Drake jumps in the trash can. Josh tries to get in the same one with him. And then
he's like, I don't want to be alone.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get into the one by himself, but Drake makes him, so he gets into the one next to him by himself. Megan comes back out, and she looks at her computer, and she's scrolling around a little bit, and she's like, "No way,
aliens!"
Yeah, she starts screaming.
Aliens!
She starts screaming about aliens into the house. Her parents don't fucking believe her. Walter
doesn't even look at the computer, which still has the alien on screen.
Yeah, he has like a tiny baby-sized fucking little trash can with no bag in it, just garbage.
The trash can size, I'm going to say, is okay.
It was the size of my recycling bin, so it was like relatively small.
We have one a little, like only slightly bigger than that for our trash can at home.
Really? I feel like it's not. Maybe, oh, you know what?
Could be under the sink.
Yeah, they have an under the sink trash can. That makes total sense now. So it's that size. It's
in the cabinet.
For you guys to think about. It's a cabinet trash can.
Yeah, so he just goes out and he, without looking in the trash can outside, just dumps the nasty garbage.
Yeah.
Right on top of Josh.
It reminds me of that video where the little kid is hiding in the trash can trying to scare his dad. And the guy just launches trash out of the thing.
And he never sees him.
No, he doesn't see him.
Closes it. That kid's dead.
That's such a funny video. Have you seen Sips reacting to that video? It's so funny.
I think so. We're gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, we'll watch
regardless.
it. You guys should go watch it after the podcast.
After this, don't leave.
I just tell people to tune out.
Leave now.
You know we did that in episode 3 with James. I told people to tune out.
What?
I said if you hadn't watched Drake and Josh, go away.
Well, that's true.
But anyway.
You shouldn't be here if you haven't seen Drake and... Well, I mean, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I would love for people actually to watch Drake and Josh and just hear our thing and then go watch the episode.
You could do it.
See how like good or bad we did.
You could watch commentary first. Or listen to commentary first, I mean. That's weird. So then... What happens after that?
So they cut into the future where Drake and Josh come into the living room and Megan's got this whole radio set up trying to listen to the aliens. And they're like, well, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm going to tell you guys a secret, okay? And they're like, oh, okay. She's like, I saw an alien. And they're like, what? And she's like, yeah, so they're close enough for me to see. They're close enough for me to hear. So I'm trying to listen for one. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're like, then they end up like laughing to themselves and start walking into the kitchen. And even before the door closes in the kitchen, and there's a fucking big ass window in the kitchen, they're just laughing out loud and fucking making fun of her.
It's crazy.
And they're like, what if we got her even worse? And then
Craig and Eric are in the
AV club or something.
The ham radio club.
Oh, it's specifically
the Jewish?
Ham radio, yeah. Yeah, they make the Jewish joke with the ham. And then, so they end up going with that, and as they're leaving the room, they're like, well, I love ham.
Me too, or who doesn't, or something along those lines.
Who doesn't?
I mean, honestly, though, ham is great. We had pork cutlets in our ramen today.
Yeah, we did go to a ramen place. It was really good. There was manga on the walls. Some anime.
Yeah. Screenshot from Evangelion.
Yeah, Trevor knew a bunch of them. A lot of Naruto.
I don't know Naruto that well. I know what it looks like, and that's...
Everyone does.
A couple of like stereotypes from it. Like I know a couple of characters what their deal are through osmosis.
I don't know any of that, but I do know that
one of
the blonde guy.
A couple
wears
of them
that
are huge
headband.
perverts.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that happening in Dragon Ball Z too?
Oh, I think Master Roshi might be a bit of a pervert. Yeah.
Doesn't that like bald kid like touch the girl's like
vagina?
Yeah. I didn't want to say it, but I feel like I feel like I've seen that before.
I haven't watched Dragon Ball, but I feel like I've seen that clip too.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that clip.
I think that was Gohan, which is Goku's son.
How old is he supposed to be? Because he's small but jacked.
Or maybe that might be small Goku, because Goku gets turned into a child at some point. Again.
I don't know. I thought it was the bald kid.
Krillin?
I don't know, dude. I don't fucking watch this show.
I don't either, but like...
Maybe it'll be on our next podcast. Hints?
Show me something. No.
You fucking bastard. I hinted at it last time. You're not supposed to talk about it.
Abby, if you can bleep that out.
I'm not going to bleep it.
Nah, that's fine. Just leave it.
But anyway, where were we at?
So they get the ham radio.
Yeah.
And they start... Like Drake goes downstairs and verifies that Megan's listening in, and so they just start broadcasting themselves.
Yeah, and then Drake starts just speaking French.
Oh, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah. Oh, oui, oui. And then Josh takes the mic away from him, and he's like, "We're supposed to be from outer space, not Paris."
Classic Josh emphasis.
Yeah, and Drake's like, there's a way to be nice.
There's a way to correct people nicely.
So then they start speaking alien. That's just like, yeah,
something like that.
And then Megan starts freaking out. So they show her reactions,
which
constantly.
Makes it really seem like she believes it because no one's around to see her reactions right now.
Yeah, no one is around to see it. Maybe she just thinks that they'll be able to hear her like screaming.
She could just be keeping up the act because she's not sure if she's alone, kind of thing. Yeah,
so she's playing along with it and she's screaming, freaking out. She's running back inside, saying, "Aliens! There's aliens!"
And then she runs upstairs and they like freak out and throw the blanket over the ham radio.
Yeah, even though with the antenna still sticking out. And then right when she comes in, Josh just does the harmonica.
That was great.
And
so then they're like, well, they got to one up it again.
Yeah, they got to get her again.
So Megan's going to be left home alone because mom and dad are going out for a date night.
And they say they're going to a concert.
Yeah, they're like, we got a concert. Which and nobody asks them what concert they're going to.
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, they had tickets in their hands, but it could have been old tickets. But, yeah, and then Megan's like, you can't leave me alone. And they're like, you're going to be fine. You babysit that kid across the street. You've
been home all alone all the time.
They're like, fucking chill.
Aliens are going to eat my face. And Walter's like, well, I mean, they wouldn't just eat your face. Why would they stop there?
And it makes sense. There's not really much meat in your face.
No, none of, like, very little.
Yeah.
Like...
It wouldn't be very fatty.
No.
So it probably wouldn't taste very good.
No, you got to go for like the butt. The butt's good muscle.
Yeah.
I don't know. A bicep would be really tough.
Yeah, probably your maybe, I don't know, your ribs probably.
Your abs might be kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, ribs. I don't know. We don't have a lot of meat on our ribs as humans. Like other animals, I feel like have a lot more meat on their ribs.
Guys, what do you know about cannibalism?
The thigh, I'm pretty sure, because didn't they do human thigh in Silence of the Lambs?
I have no idea. I do not remember.
One of those.
I watched that in high school. It was a very long time ago.
One of those Hannibal Lecter movies where he cooks
Red Dragon.
He cooks a human thigh in clay.
I don't think that's Silence. I think that it's got to be Red Dragon, right?
I don't think it's something because Babish did an episode about it where he did a pork.
I don't think it was Silence though.
Okay, it wasn't Silence.
Guys, what is it? Write in the comments. We're asking you guys a lot this episode. I really apologize.
Are asking way too much.
They just write everything.
So they crawl back in through the window.
Yeah,
because they're actually going to prank her with a makeup artist who is Mindy's third cousin.
Yeah.
Who did all the makeup for
I don't remember what it was. Some dumb shit
movie that they made up.
Yeah, that probably like a morph of like two movies. Yeah, classic.
So they're like, she's gonna make us look like aliens.
Yeah, and who's the lady again? You had it pulled up.
Janice from Friends, Maggie Wheeler.
Yeah, she has a weird laugh in Friends apparently. And she says, "Oh my god."
Oh my god.
So if you guys know Friends, you'll know who we're talking about. It's that lady.
I was very surprised to see her. Happy because I both love and hate her character in Friends.
She seemed cool. Apparently,
Jacob
Chandler
doesn't watch Friends.
No, I don't
apparently.
watch Friends. I don't like Friends.
I love Friends.
I stick to it. Friends
It's kind of like a show like The Office where it's like you just throw it on when you really don't care what's on.
I get it, but The Office is amazing, and people say too much that Friends is better than Seinfeld, and I won't stand by it, so I won't watch it.
That is 100% not true.
People say it.
Seinfeld is so much better.
People say it, Trevor.
It's not true.
So then she starts talking about how nice their skin is, or at least Drake, and
She's like, "Oh my, I'll leave it to Mindy to find a great guy."
Yeah, and then Drake is disgusted, and
He's
Josh
like,
is like, "Actually, I'm Mindy's boyfriend."
And she's like,
and he starts doing these faces. He does all these like trying to look cool.
"You need some work."
Yeah, that's what she says to him.
So
which is kind of fucked up.
They get all done up, and they start playing these sound. So we cut to Megan in the yard.
Yeah.
Looking at it for aliens and stuff. Which you think if she was scared of them, she wouldn't be looking for them.
I think she's scared but curious, as you are with aliens, as anybody would be.
Fair.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's trying to find them, find more. And then she starts seeing these lights and sounds. And it's very foggy. And then
smoggy, one might say.
Some might say that.
It is California.
Well, San Diego.
It is San Diego, which is nicer.
Yeah, so Drake and Josh are completely done up movie style with these red jumpsuits, thriller-esque. And they're all green with worms coming out of their head and shit.
And the horns.
Yeah, and they're just making these crazy noises.
Crazy
like,
alien-looking things.
And they're like walking real strange with their hands out.
Twitching their necks.
Yeah, twitching all over. And she's just screaming at the top of her lungs. I bet the sound guy was fucking dying.
Falls backwards over the porch and is like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, and she's like, "What are you going to do to me?" And they're like, "Dance!"
And start doing the classic Drake and Josh physical comedy dance.
Yeah, they're doing a dance. And then they rip off their masks and they're like, "Gotcha."
We got you, guy.
But then
all of a sudden, more noises.
Yeah, more noises and different lights.
That's not us.
Yeah, and Megan's like, "It's not funny anymore."
They're like, "We're not doing it." And then another alien flashes into existence somehow.
Yeah, it's like this crazy effect where he flashes onto the screen. I don't know how that would have been practically done.
I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, like, for him to, because, like, for the reveal, like, where he's, like, just a dude.
I know, it wouldn't work.
Like, but anyway, so he scares Drake and Josh. They start running around. Megan's playing along. She's also screaming.
And then as soon as they're gone, she's like,
"Well,
thanks, Dave."
The physical comedy bit, though, of it.
Oh, yeah, trying to climb the fucking fence.
Josh is trying to climb the fence. Drake's fucking gone. And Josh, eventually, he's on top of the fence, and it breaks down. It falls onto the ground. And then he's doing this, like, in-place run where he's looking side to side, and he eventually runs away, but then he runs back.
So good.
It's really classic. Yeah, so the alien is just some dude. And Megan's like, she keeps screaming until she knows they're gone, and then she's like, "Oh, thanks," and he's like, "Oh,
Dave."
no problem,
He's like,
Megan."
No problem, Megan. And
then he asks for coffee.
Yeah. So goes inside and she just starts making coffee, and she said they're not going to stop running till Mexico.
Yeah.
So I guess Drake's going to go join up the army.
Yeah, he's going to get drafted. Fuck.
And then just she makes coffee for him.
She makes black coffee for him. And then the parents come in back from their little date. And they're like, "Oh, Megan, you're having coffee?" And she's like,
"No, it's for a friend."
Yeah. And
what friend?
Yeah. And then they cut to Walter, like, taking his jacket off. And then he looks back over. And
he stops and, like, turns slowly.
And the alien guy looks at him. He's like, "Hey.
Sup?"
Yeah. And
Walter just freaks out and then fucking jumps out the bay window.
Yeah, he completely shatters the bay window. It's fucked at that point.
He's insane.
But that's pretty much the episode.
Yeah,
and then the end credits are more blues stuff. And then there was a shit one after, wasn't
there? Was the one where they're like, "I guess we should go down and tell Megan that it was all a joke." And he's like, "No. This has just begun." And they start doing an evil laugh.
Oh, yeah.
A bad evil laugh. And then Josh is like, "I don't get it."
Yeah.
Like, what's not to get?
It was a bad cut.
It's very...
That's why they didn't leave it in. But they put it in the deleted scene.
They shouldn't have put it in the after
They
credits.
should have just done more of the blues guitar.
Yeah. And
it was great.
Hopefully he actually freestyled that, but it was probably written.
That was definitely written. Drake, written. Josh, never written. That's my rule.
That's fair.
But no, it was an I-8 episode.
It was pretty good. I'm going to give this... Actually, no. What do you rate it?
So like I was saying in the beginning, I'm a little bit upset because because I rated the last one a 7, and Should have rated it higher because I feel like I want to rate this one a 7, but this one's not as good. So I guess in that vein, I'll give it a 6.
But in spirit, you give it a 7, and the last episode a higher score.
Yes.
Okay. I give this one, I think, a 7.5.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was kind of standard.
It was very standard.
You know what? 8. I give it an 8.
It went by super quick.
It did, which I think sometimes is a sign of a good episode for this.
Yeah. I just feel like there was a couple more parts in the last one where like I was really fucking laughing, like enjoying it. Although there were a lot in this episode too.
Yeah.
Just less super memorable ones. It was really just like the blues guitar stuff that was really fun.
The blues guitar stuff was like, I think that's straight up what bumped it from a 7.5 to an 8 in my mind just now.
Yeah. Wait, so what's our combined? You went with what?
An 8.
And I went with a 6, so it's a 7.
I'm okay with that.
It's rated 7 ep, which is good because that's what I wanted to give it anyway. Out of 10 quatlers. I feel like we didn't say quatlers.
Quatlers. Quatlers.
In case you guys didn't know, the quatlers is a reference to ep 1.
Why would they? They've gotten this far.
Some people might not know.
We have brought it up multiple times.
You know, in the couple episodes after ep 1, we didn't rate it out of quatlers.
Did we not?
No.
What the fuck?
We didn't.
We were also way too serious in those.
Which ones?
Some of the early episodes.
Oh.
We're talking about all the camera angles and stuff really like seriously.
We still do that though.
We do, but like
that was mostly just ep 1. So who do we want to shout out?
So
we got. I'm thinking maybe makeup.
Costume.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking makeup. Scroll down. Oh, there's like nothing for this episode.
Wow, there's
Great.
very few credits for it.
Well, then who did? Oh, stunt double, Sean Crowder.
Good job, Sean.
The stunts were pretty dope.
And then Omar.
You've shouted him out a million times.
Have I?
Yeah, Omar Camacho. That's cool. He's your boy.
I don't. I'm bad at names.
Oh, costume design, Kristen Dangle.
Oh, there was costume design. Good job, Kristen. You did a great job.
They did do a great job. So those are our shout outs for this episode. Overall, it was very solid. We gave it a 7 overall, combined both of our scores. Yeah. And so now we're on to our last episode of season 3.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. It's the clip show, Dr. Phyllis, with a little bit of a plot. But
not much.
We'll still talk about it.
We're still going to watch it because we got to.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I've been Trevor.
And I've been Jacob.
Go watch some Drake and Josh.